What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Rescueality Podcast, episode 9. Today, we're going to be talking about a lot of you who always say that they want to help out, and for those who actually do want to help out, kind of the options that are out there for you, and the things that a lot of rescues and shelters or humane societies might be looking for. Start with the people who say they want to help out. I know I've said this in a couple other episodes. I've had hundreds, if not thousands, hundreds at the very least, if not thousands, have said, I want to help out. I love what you do. What you do is my dream. I wanted anything. You tell me, I'm there. Day, night, 24/7. You call me, I'm there. And I've heard that hundreds of times. And hundreds of times, 99% of the time, I'll call, hey, you want to come help in an adoption event? What we really need help with is help cleaning up after the dogs and kind of making sure they're all good. Oh, so I'm coming to play with dogs. Well, some people might ask some questions, but it's really, cleaning up the pee pads and cleaning up after they use the restroom. So it's not just playing with dogs. Well, I mean, the dogs are going to be there. The puppies are going to be there. You can play with them. But what we really need help with is kind of that aspect. So we can communicate with the potential adopters and kind of focus on them while someone else is able to kind of focus on the dogs. It just makes things a lot easier rather than having to do both. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. My cousins, neighbors, nephews, brothers, mothers, twice removed uncles, goldfish, just came down with the stomach flu and unfortunately can't come. So sorry. I've heard that so many times. The thing that a lot of rescues and a lot of organizations need the most, like I would say above all, is helping cleaning up after the dogs, whether it be at the ranch, whether it be at the facility, whether it be at an event or anything, is cleaning up after the animals. Cleaning up after they use the restroom, pee pads, if they make a mess. If it's cats, clean up the litter trays, and any other animal. If it's hamster rescue or gopher rescue, cleaning up the bedding. That is what most organizations, most rescues are needing. And I realize that's not what social media has made it out to be, and I realize that's not the fun aspect of doing this. I know it firsthand. I have cleaned up billions, exaggeration. I've cleaned up after dogs for 25 years, but I've cleaned up after all the rescues for going on a decade. And it is not fun at all. No one likes it. It's actually just a part of life. So if you really want to help out, if you want to volunteer, if you want to go to adoption events and volunteer, if you want to volunteer with your local humane society, with a local shelter, that's probably going to be the number one thing that they need help with. And if you go in with the attitude of, yep, clean up, I'll make sure everything's pristine, I'll make sure everything's clean, they'll love you. It's the people that go in with the attitude of, oh, I'm just here to play with dogs for a couple hours and not do anything. That it's like, yes, the dogs need that playtime. They need to get that human interaction. They need that, but there's quite a bit more to it than just playing with the dogs. So if you want to volunteer at a local place, that's going to be number one. Obviously, there's donating. There's also donating towards specific things. For example, we have done fundraisers. We did a fundraiser to move to the ranch, to move to a new ranch, sorry. While we were at our old ranch for about 6 years, we did a fundraiser to move to our new ranch. Some other nonprofits have done fundraisers to get a new van or get a new vehicle, um, and work on transportation, that kind of stuff. And if you aren't able to help physically, $5, $10, $20, one $5 donation isn't going to be a huge amount, but $105 donations adds up to be a really good amount. And this is kind of common sense when it comes to nonprofits and organizations that are trying to do fundraising is the donation. But a lot of people ask me about what they can do physically. I get calls all the time. Hey, my son or my daughter or someone I know wants to do this. What do you need them to do? If they want to come to this event, clean up after the dogs for the event, that'll allow me to speak to everyone and engage in the crowd and try and get some of my dogs adopted. That's not what a lot of people want to do. I know a lot of kids for high school that they have to do some community service work. I don't know what the hours are, 30 hours or 40 hours of community service, something like that. Doing events for nonprofits. If you're like, hey, I like dogs, I want to help out, clean up after them. Any nonprofit, any shelter, anything will gladly write your community service. Parents, if you want your kids to learn about things and if you have a kid that really wants to go down that path of working with animals, have them volunteer. If they're under 18, typically a parent or guardian needs to be there. At least for my rescue, we require anyone under 18 to have a parent or guardian that's over 18 there. But yeah, there's a couple things that you can do to, if you really want to help out before you start your own. I know I did a past video on if you wanted to start, or I gave my opinion on it, and I think before you start, it's better to maybe work with a local rescue and see what the actual day-to-day is to see if it might work for you, because you might have an idea of what it is and it could be so completely different than what you're thinking of, or what social media makes it out to be, that you might be in over your head, or you might be like, wait, this isn't exactly what I wanted to do. I thought it was completely different, which is totally fine. It's better to not do it than try and do it, and now you have 30 animals and you have no idea what to do, or you ran out of funds, which happens to the best of us. It has certainly happened to us. That's why I work full time, because adoption's kind of slowed down, and we don't want to be completely out of funds, even though we almost were. So I had to pick up a job to make sure the animals are taken care of, which at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, making sure all the animals are taken care of. I've always put myself last when it has come to that, as with most rescuers, with even most people that have pets. So many people treat their animals better than they treat themselves. I'm guilty of it. So, yeah, if you really want to help out, contact your local humane society, rescue, shelter, organization, and be like, hey, I'll clean up after the dogs. You tell me what needs to be clean. I'll make sure it's clean. They'll love you. That'll be the greatest thing ever. And if you have done any volunteer work, or you are looking into doing any volunteer work, comment down below. Let me know what kind of volunteer work you've done, and maybe what it's meant to you. Maybe it changed you. Maybe you saw a different side to something you didn't know. Let me know how that went. And yeah, I'm trying to think of any other things that volunteers are really needed for. And there's a lot of things they can do if you want to foster, if you want to get donations or if you want to do that kind of stuff. But if you actually want to physically do something with the dogs and to help the dogs, it's going to be cleaning up. That's going to be number one. So let me know if you ever went through anything and how you liked it. And I hope to see you guys in the next episode.